Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? A lot of you may not know me since this is a new game for me. This is Fate Grand Order for iOS, Android. You can use emulator as well. This game was recommended to me by Figure Break, one of my favorite YouTubers. Does a lot of anime figure unboxings, reviews, that sort of thing. He's a fantastic person, fun to watch. So if you like that sort of thing, you like the anime figures, you like people that enjoy games like Fate Grand Order, a very anime-style game, you'll really enjoy his content, so please give him a subscribe in the description below there. Also, just to get this out of the way here before I forget, this guide is credited towards Theodore_ and Karipo, both from Reddit. Those are the two areas where I grabbed all the information I could between the two and mixed it into one very solid route and very solid way to reroll. As you can see, I have 4 apps going right at once right here. Usually I have 6, but it just couldn't handle it with my recording software. And 4 worked just fine, so I'm just using 4 right now. Anyway, we'll get right into the guide here. I'm going to switch and walk you through it step by step. And hopefully you can get this going too, because really, if you want to re-roll for mobile games, this is how you do it. Fire Emblem, this is how you do it. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, this is how you do it. Literally every single mobile game in the history of the world, outside of Commodus games. Commodus games, this doesn't work too well on. This gets you banned from Commodus games, so don't do this in Summoner's War or anything like that. Maybe non-Summoner's War it works for, but definitely not Summoner's War. So let's get into the guide here and get on going. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because this is so damned confusing. As you can see, I have 18 freaking steps here, and I'm sure I skipped some. We're going to try to walk through them with you, but I can't do all of them with you, so hopefully you can kind of follow these steps and I didn't miss anything. And if I did miss anything, we can figure it out together. It's no problem. So the first thing you need to do is download Memu from the link below. It's in the description below. Also, these aren't my download links. These are credited to the people I found it from was Theodore_ and Karipo, both on Reddit, both 2 different Reddit posts that I found to merge their 2 strategies together to find a better rerolling strategy. So after you download Memu from the link below, you then need to download KitKat Memu. You then need to download Lollipop Memu. What names, eh? I don't know what of this is required, but I just did it all, so nothing screwed up. You then need to install Memu, install KitKat, and install Lollipop. And from there, you need to download the Memu image with Fate Grand Order pre-installed. This will be in the link below as well. I'll try to label them really well so nobody's confused. You then need to download the Resetter APK from the link below again. And then you're set. You've got everything downloaded and we're all ready. So I will open up my multi-instance manager here, and this is step number 8, and I can follow you through one step at a time from here on out. So after we run multi-Memu, we need to hit import right here and import this file right here. This is the Memu image with Fate Grand Order pre-installed. It's about 1.2 gigs. But this saves you from having to reinstall it every single time. I don't know how it works, but thank you to Karipo. Or whoever actually made it. He's the one who posted it. I can't really see who he credits, but somebody. So then we want to rename it to tutorial or whatever you want to rename it to, and hit the start button. The first thing we're going to do, let's move this over here. The first thing we're going to do is load the APK. We'll just go one by one down the menu here. I'm actually going to change the settings, so I'm going to do step 13 before 12, but it doesn't really matter. So to load the APK, you might have to hit this toolbar settings button here on the right, and then you may have to move something in no display up to the top. I'm not sure if it shows by default, but you really want this mouse operation record at the top, and you want this APK button at the top. So we then click the APK button right up at the top here, and then import clear go data. And this will load it into here. We'll just wait a second. There we go. It's all made. And what this thing does here is at the end of each reroll session, you need to click this button. And as you can see, this clears the data. And this allows you to save about 3 minutes of fuddling in menus in File Explorer. And that saves a ton of time when you're doing 6 of these at once. So next step here, let's load up Fate Grand Order, and I'm going to have to fast forward a bit here because this is a new instance and it has to download to start with, and it takes my internet a little bit. So you'll get this little thing here, you hit close, and that'll bring you to the App Store. Let me fill this out here, and I'll be right back when it's downloaded. You just fill out your information here, use a fake email. I didn't use a real one, just in case, you never know, right? And then it'll bring you to the App Store and just hit update and download it, and I will be back right after that step. Okay, so my install is done, so let's find the settings bar over here. You don't have to do this, but I did. I increased my memory to 2048, and I also remember the last window position here. And then hit save and restart here. And the reason why I saved the window position is just because I have it set up perfectly on my monitor. So they all line up, and my macro buttons are all lined up, so it just makes it so much easier than having to resize it every time. And keep in mind, you do need a decent to good computer for this. My computer's great, and 6 is a struggle sometimes. 4 is really easy, and I can play Final Fantasy XIV while I do 4 of them. So let's load up Fate Grand Order here. I will have to download something the first time you load an instance like this, but it doesn't take very long. Also, this screen here, you will see it a lot. This just means you've downloaded, or you've downloaded, re-rolled one too many times, and you gotta wait about 10 minutes or so, and then it'll reset, and you just reload the game, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. So don't worry if this comes up. It will happen a lot. I'm not sure if there's a way around it. I'm sure you can use a VPN or something like that, but that's just too much effort. So I just wait for it to expire. So I'll be right back for when this finishes. So we're back here, just loading the update. We're actually going to run through an entire macro, so this is going to be a very long video, so I apologize for that. If you know how to do this part, you can just do it by yourself, but if not, I'd follow through with me and just enjoy the tutorial. It's really important to get your macro right, so make sure you don't screw it up, otherwise it'll take quite a bit of time. So I start on this screen here, I open up my macro button. Let's drag it down here, and you want to hit this start button right here, and then just start clicking and go really slow, really deliberate, and take your time. I let things go for like a second or two after because there's just no reason. Like, I could click that skip already, but what happens if that last window took too long? So I just give it a couple seconds in between each click, especially with my internet. It's so bad. And you don't want the macro screwing up. I'd rather it take a little bit longer and work every time than something like that happen. So you can see we have Saber in the left. She's awesome. So let's click attack here. Wait a second, and then we click 1, 2, 3, and then we wait a second here again. This is going to be long, just as a heads up, but I know somebody will need it, so if I can help one person, that's all I really want. And this will show people who haven't played the game or haven't seen the game kind of what it looks like. And we just wait a second, as always, before we click. So my goal for Fate Grand Order right now is to re-roll and get 2 5 stars. I don't know what they call it here, SSRSs or something. I don't even know. SSRs. Don't know what it stands for, but that's what people seem to call it. Everybody else will know them by 5 stars. That seems to be much easier. I plan to get 2 of them is my hopes. They are a 1% chance, and you get about 15 tries at it with the reroll. So it is not easy whatsoever to get it. There's also 5-star craft essences. I don't even know. I'm not familiar with the game, as you can tell. I know a lot of the characters because I buy the anime figures and I've watched some of the anime, but I'm not entirely familiar with the game yet. But I do enjoy the graphics. I enjoy the music. I have the music off for this, but overall, pretty fantastic so far, and I'm really happy with the way it looks and the way it plays. So we just wait a second, as always. There's her kicking some ass. Doesn't that look awesome, like for a phone game? So we wait a second just in case it lagged or something like that. And let's do Excalibur. And everything in the tutorial plays out exactly the same except for the very end. I haven't figured out... By the way, this looks amazing. I haven't figured out how to perfect the very end yet, so sometimes I have to manual the last bit, but it's not a big deal if I do. The story is also really, really good, so please watch the story at least once, or read the story at least once. And we wait a second. As always, you're going to hear me say that a lot, but I don't know what else to talk about. I clicked that way too fast, so that might screw up the macro, but I already have a working macro. So then you want to click right in the name part here and just enter anything. I just put one button because it can be changed later. Do some more skipping. What sick fire, eh? Look at those graphics. So around here is where mine screws up a bit, so I'm gonna wait a second just to be safe. And we tap to start a quest. The Burning City, eh? I think with a real internet connection, like my internet's kind of like a fake internet, it's so bad, you may be able to do these menus faster, but sometimes it takes me like 10 seconds to load through stuff and it screws things up. So we're now using Shielder or Mash. And I always do the first three just to keep it the same because it's essentially the same every single time. Now they want us to use an ability here, so we just wait a second, click on it, click OK, then click on Mash. Thank God we can change the battle speed. And we get an extra attack. It seems like you get an extra attack every time you use 3 of the same card, or the same person, essentially. No more tutorials, so we can click into it here and just use same 3 as always. I already have my macro done, so I'm just going to click through a little faster so you guys aren't sitting here waiting for me staring at the screen. But you should definitely wait a little bit to do it just to be safe. So you can spam the screen right here a bunch of times. And I usually spam a couple extra just in case something didn't register, and that way you know you're on the screen, just in case animations took longer or something. And skip this one. Saint Quartz are basically what you use to summon. So we'll go to this one. We have 2 more maps to do, and then we're done the intro macro. Senpai! Yes, this is one of those games. So attack, first, second, third. She's such a cool unit. I really want the figure of her. I really should have bought it. So this part I screw up a lot too on the macro, so make sure you're right on the skeleton and you wait a second to do it. So after this battle, we'll get into our first summon session. The first summon session is essentially a fake one. You can't get 5 stars from it. You can get multiple 4 stars, and I think 4 stars are at a 4% rate or something like that. But it's really the 5 stars you want to get, and you can just spam the screen here, give it a second, and then go next. Now we skip. Now we just follow the menu to summon. 10 times summon. Okay. And from here, I let this actually play out on my real macro just because I like watching the animations and it's fun to see them in real time. But I'm going to click through it just because we'll be here for a while otherwise. You can click through it in your macro too. It shouldn't make any difference. You want to click in the top right, I believe, so you don't accidentally click into anything when you're done. And remember, these ones cannot be 5 stars, so you want as many 4 stars as possible. And the very last one is always a 4-star servant. So that's my very last one. So then I just click a couple extra times just in case animations took a little longer. And then go to next. And I'm not sure if it's my internet that takes this long or what. You want to spam a ton too. And it goes through all your new servants you got. And each time you do this, you'll get a different amount of new servants. So it may take longer depending on what you open. So you want to click a bunch of extra times here just to be safe. And this one's my 4-star. And like I said, you just want to click a ton of times. You always want to click in the top right corner or somewhere, because if you click on one of these cards here, you'll open up a little dialogue screen and screw up your macro. So that should be enough clicking. So let's go back to summon. Then it clicks menu, formation, party setup, and we have one more battle to go, and this is the battle that sometimes screws it up. I can't figure out how to do this one the same every time. You have to use a support, so another person's unit, and sometimes you get somebody who's like level 12 and sometimes you get somebody who's level 60, so it really changes the battle speed. And then after this, you get a summon pool of another 10 summons, and then you get another 5, or you can save the 5 to do another 10 after. So we got a level 64 Jean, or Jean, how do you pronounce her name? I feel so stupid now. And we'll click skip. And this is the part where it's different every time, so this one's really hard to macro right. But you're only like 2 minutes away from the end from here, or not even 2 minutes, like 30 seconds away from the end if this goes sourly for you. So we wait a second. So it's actually really good we did not get... Oh, we're going to kill it anyway. I was going to say it's really good we didn't get the support, because the support would one-shot it and make it last longer, and you want it to take as long as you can, just so if you do one-shot it, then you can very easily go through another route just fine. But if you don't one-shot it, and you're using a macro that did one-shot it, then you're screwed. if that makes any sense whatsoever. So this is good too, because we didn't get the support in one of the first 3. I think you can, I might be wrong. So this will take 2 rounds. And we want it to take 2 rounds because if it takes 1, that's when the macro screws up. So we'll wait a second on this. And yeah, we did get the support right there. So now she's going to one-shot it for sure. But it's fine because we're on our second. And it doesn't matter what you have, you will kill it by the second anyway. So we spam click here. It's always good to do fail safes like this just in case something goes wrong, because you can click here forever and nothing bad will happen. But it will save you if you lag or something like that. And then request the friend. It doesn't change anything whether you request or not. And now we're at our real summoning session, and this is where we hope we get our 5 stars. We just have to get to our mailbox here. So we click the little present at the bottom, click receive non-cards. If you receive all, it takes more time. Then we hit close, then we hit menu, then we hit summon. We close this off, and there's a bunch of different banners, but we want to do this one because it's got a limited rate Gilgamesh hero that has a bonus increased drop rate. So just like your Summoner's War Summoning Stone banners or your Fire Emblem banners. And we'll just click through it here. Like I said, I would rather watch it, but just for the sake of saving you guys some time here. We're getting some 3 stars. Like I said, it's a 1% chance to get a 5-star in this game. So this is like the most servants I've ever got, by the way. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 servants in it. Usually it's like 2 to 3 servants tops. Anyway, this is where I stop my macro. So I'm going to stop the macro here. But I'm also going to show you what else you can do just in case. If I do open a 5-star there, I will go into this next part. And, oh right, we got to click through all of this. If I do open a 5-star or maybe a 5-star or 2 craft, I will go into the next part and open all my next summons. But I prefer not to because it takes more time and you can't do the guaranteed 10 summon, which gives you a guaranteed 4-star. And we did get a ton of servants, so this is going to take a second of clicking. That guy's hilarious, by the way. I love that guy's text box. Oops. See, that's why, exact reason why you click on the top right and not the middle, because this will screw you up every time. So I just go to summon here, and then we have 15 quartz left, so your choice is to grind to 30, which does take a bit, or just to use the extras here. And I use the extras just because, or just in case I've already had a 5-star in my 10 batch, and then I want to get something else. So I do manually do these. And we'll just go through them here. Maybe we'll get a 5-star. Couple more. This account's a definite reset, so I guess we can just skip that. You get the idea there. So from there, you want to hit this bottom rectangle here, drag it out, hit this clear Go data icon, and now you can just load up Fate Grand Order again, and you'll be right back to the beginning. So yeah, I really hope it's working for you guys. If it's not, you know where to find me in the Discord there. Give me a shout. We can try to figure it out together. And perfect. Look at this Noble Phantasm there. That's just awesome graphics. I love it. Such a fun game. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If it helped you out, feel free to hit that subscribe button or that like button. If it didn't, dislike it and tell me why. Tell me what part didn't work for you, and maybe I can help you out before that happens too. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day. See everybody next time, and I look forward to opening a triple 5-star triple 5-star summon soon, which is obviously not going to happen. But let's cross our fingers, okay? Thanks again. Bye now.